Welcome back to another video. Today we'll be discussing how to manage your nutrition over the holidays without feeling guilty. Step one is that you need to set clear and honest goals with yourself about what you want over the next couple of months. So here are some of the questions that you can ask yourself in a journal prompt. What does success look like to you over the next couple of months? What is most important to you during the holidays? Once the holidays are over, how do you want to feel? How do I want or prefer to manage my nutrition over the holidays? And are my expectations for what I prefer realistic? So is there a way that you can bridge a gap between what you want and what is realistic, and how can you make that work? And when it comes to fitness, I know we're so used to people associating fitness and fat loss as the same, but that's not the case. So I'm just gonna read you just a few ideas of some of the fitness and health goals that you may choose over the holidays. These tend to be some of the popular ones, but what you really do wanna make sure when you are setting these goals, you wanna make sure they're set as SMART goals. You may already know what SMART goals are, but if you don't, I'll put it on the screen. Essentially, if you answer the questions from the prompt, you're going to be answering your SMART goals, but it's just making sure that your goals are actually realistic and true to you and your values. Now we'll get into step two. Step two is getting very clear on how the heck you're gonna do that. There's multiple ways that you can get from point A to point B, where you are and where you wanna be, right? So if your goal is weight loss, what do you wanna do? What realistically do you want to do considering everything that's happening during the holidays? The best plan for you is going to be one that is going to be the easiest plan to follow on your busiest, most chaotic, most stressful of days. The holidays are filled with conflicting emotions. It's a sensitive time for many. It's a really joyous time for others. Because of that, that makes nutrition and maintaining nutrition even harder. Now, I will give some nutrition goals that tend to work really well across the board. So this means with weight loss goals, with strength goals, with energy level goals, with your relationship with food. So nutrition goals that could benefit you kind of across the board would be water intake goals, protein intake goals, mindful eating goals, and then activity or step goals, and then using hand measurements to practice portions. So these types of things can do well across the board for many different goals. Now, once you have created a plan and are happy with how it looks, you want to then think about the obstacles that are going to come up, because even though the goal is to create a plan that is just easiest as possible on your hardest, craziest, busiest, most chaotic days, you're still going to struggle. So you'll want to consider what those obstacles are that will come up, and during the holidays specifically, because there will be new challenges and obstacles. So some of the obstacles that you might face are pressure from friends and family, cravings, emotional eating, busy schedules, limited options, like if you're at a party or an event, unplanned events, and lack of support from friends, families, partner. Just like goal setting, there's so many ways that you can navigate obstacles, and you really just have to think about yourself and how you personally tend to handle things. Just knowing how you're going to work through those obstacles and planning ahead will truly make a difference. So it's not that you don't know how to handle your obstacles, it's just that you have to actually walk your brain through how you're going to do it. It sounds sometimes silly, it's like, well, I should know this, but in hard, stressful times, it feels like so fight or flight mode, or so chaotic or so busy that you don't have the time to sit down and think about it during, because there's so much else happening. The last thing you're going to want to do is sit down for 20 minutes to write out how you're gonna navigate these obstacles, because already in your head you're thinking, is this even gonna work? This is like, you're already starting to be impacted by this stress. So that's why sitting down ahead of time is going to be the game changer. We'll go through some plans that you could do. Let's say pressure from friends or family is something that you struggle with, questioning you on why you're eating XYZ, questioning you on why you're not eating XYZ. So the plan could then be to practice setting boundaries and saying no to your friends and family in a kind way. Practice in advance. Practice how you're going to say no thank you. But however you want to set your boundaries, practice that in advance. If you start to shy away from yourself in that moment, you're gonna probably not set those boundaries, and you'll be more likely to then cave in and stray away from your goals, not because you wanted to, but because you felt that pressure from your friends or family. Let's say Another obstacle you face during the holidays is cravings. And how you could work around that obstacle is not keeping or bringing home leftovers from events or parties, and of course not buying any foods that tend to maybe trigger you into past behaviors. Another obstacle during the holidays is a busy schedule, and a plan that you could utilize for that would be finding meals in advance and prepping meals in advance that can be quickly put together. For example, for me, that would look like a sandwich. I can quickly pull out bread, I can quickly whip out turkey slices, and I can quickly whip out some lettuce, some cheese, whatever else I want on the sandwich, boom, ready to go. And prepare for the days that you'll be busy. Look at your schedule in advance. Look at when you'll have time to prep your meals in advance. The fourth step is to find ways to stay accountable. Now, this can be self-accountability, but it's also super important that you have some sort of support system. Your motivation levels are going to be higher now than they will be in a few weeks as you start to implement your plan. So having external motivation, external support is also important. And this support can come from friends, it can come from family, it can come from a coach, from a trainer. And when it comes to self-motivation, rewards are so important. The reward systems that I typically implement and recommend utilizing, because it's so basic but easy to follow and it works, is to find 1 to 3 daily habits that you can implement and reward yourself each time you accomplish it. When you finish that task, when you finish your water, when you get in your sleep, when you prep your meal, reward yourself for that. So once you figure out what your goals are, what your plan is, and how you're gonna navigate your obstacles, you are setting yourself up for success. It truly is not as simple as that, but it truly is as simple as that as far as having structure and having a plan. Now, actually following through with it is hard, but practicing, for example, if you have boundaries, preparing yourself and practicing ahead of time will make all of the difference for you on this journey. It truly will. If you feel like you need a coach or you feel like you need extra guidance, Brian, can I pop his picture up right here? Brian is taking on clients during the holidays. We are also launching on January 1st our coaching group, which I am so freaking excited about. If you are curious about the coaching group, I will leave a link below. It is on our website, flexclub.fit, and you can just go leave your name on the wait list. We'll reach out and we'll discuss more on what your goals are. Truly, I'm so excited for this group. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I will see you in the next video. All right, friends, stay strong.